thank you once again for joining me for the 30-day mental diet. Today, we are at day number 26. Day number 26, you can avoid old age. And our subheading is saying, you are as old as you think you are. So, as usual, let us get together. Let's start with the introduction and let's read and let's see what we have in today's lesson. For all practical purposes, it is the nature of your thinking that determines the aging of your body, because thought influences the functions of the body. A negative pattern of thought can slow down or inhibit the action of any organ or process so that it shows evidence of what is termed old age. Okay, so right here, everybody is looking for the fountain of youth. And the fountain of youth may have been right in front of our faces for many, many centuries and decades. It says here that negative patterns of thoughts influence our organs and the processes in our bodies. Some of these negative patterns causes our skin to wrinkle, causes indigestion, maybe cause our blood pressure to go higher, which causes other ailments. These things, from the patterns of our thinking, will accelerate our age. Our bodies will look older than we really are. So right here, Kinner comes right in it and says it's a negative pattern of thought that's doing these things. And so let's dive in a little deeper and let's pull some nuggets out here. I'm at the next paragraph. The body is always young. Various studies made by medical researchers indicate that at most, no part of the body is over a year old. There is a continual process of material being incorporated in and as the body, and old material being discarded. From this point of view, it is obvious that it is not the body itself that ages. Okay, so right there, it said they do studies, and it says our cells are constantly replicating itself. Our old cells are being discarded and new cells are coming in. So if the cells are constantly new, in fact, I think somewhere in this lesson, if I recall, said that the body is not more than 1 year old. No part of your body. Think about it. Your hair, your skin, your internal organs. There is no part of your body that's more than 1 year old. I was really, really surprised at that study when it said that. So if our body is really 1 year old, what is really causing this old age? The look at the gray hair and all the things. Let's go down a little further. The body's pattern. There would have to be, let's start it from the top. I'm sorry. Let's start again. That there's a pattern according to which your body conforms. There is no doubt there would have to be, or else the food which you eat could never become the cells and structure of your body. No healing could take place and no renewal could ever be effected. The idea of body, the pattern, does not change. Neither does the law through which it is projected into manifestation. Okay. I like what is said here, and it gives us a different perspective on our body. What Kinner says here is that the idea of body, the pattern of our body, the structure of our body is a projection. A projection our body is projected into manifestation. Now, we know that first cause is mental. So if our mental thoughts are young, we are going to project a youthful body. If our mental patterns are negative, we are projecting into the world an old, sickly, feeble body. Think about that. Whatever ails you, you know, sometimes you might see some people, they say, see a child, say that child has an old spirit. And you might see someone that's very much old and they have a very young, vital, youthful spirit. So the pattern of their thought is projecting out the body that they possess. Let's go to the next paragraph. What grows old? The material which constitutes the body is constantly new. The manner in which it becomes the physical structure of the body is in accord with the great law of life, which never lessens in its action. At this point, you find yourself confronted with the unique question, what grows old? Going further down. Your body should not grow old, but you can and do permit your thinking about it to age, which of course reflected in its functioning. So as we become mature in our thinking is reflecting back to us in the body. I'm always saying over and over, everything in our life is a reflection of our consciousness. Never say I'm too old for this or too old for that. I know I've been guilty of it myself. Sometimes I play basketball with some young guys, and sometimes when my body is hurting after the game and I'm like, I may say I'm too old for this. No, then sometimes I shake it off and say, no, I feel I feel a lot of pride that I'm able to run up and down the court with a lot of young kids. Okay, let's go to the next paragraph. The body is a mirror. Many people feel that the age of 50 is the dividing line. That this is the point when old age starts. And of course, the result is that 50, they do enter old age. You seem to be as old or as young as you think you are. At most, any point in life, you can introduce into your body the evidence of old age by what you think about yourself. What counts is not what you see in the mirror, but what you mentally want to see in it. What counts is not what you see in the mirror, is what you mentally want to see. Remember, we had spoken before in previous lessons about holding a pattern of thought in our mind. So now, let's say we're feeling a little old, we're feeling a little sluggish, we're looking a little run down, but we decide that we are going to tackle our health. We're going to start to exercise, and we're going to start changing our pattern of thinking. If we are able to hold the pattern, a different vision of our body in our mind, change the picture that you see in the mirror. Okay, you see many pictures on television, on the internet, in magazines of people that are in 60s, 70s, 80s. They go to the gym, they're all cut up, they have a body of a 20, 30-year-old because they have refused to accept the picture that they see in the mirror. You and I have the same choice. Whatever we decide to see in the mirror, we can visualize that, hold that pattern, and go to work on ourselves, and we can achieve that thing. Okay. A better picture. You need to establish a better mental picture of yourself, a picture of the way you want yourself to be, not of what you fear you will become. You should ignore the evidence of the statistics that certain things happen to most people at certain ages. Okay, I like that. We should hold a pattern, the mental picture of what we want to see, not what we fear we're going to see. And that's very important, because when we fear something, when we hold fear in our heart and in our mind, we are still visualizing. But we're visualizing what we don't want. And that is very, very important. And also, one of the things that we should never let anyone do is tell you, well, you know, you're 50 now, so these things are going to happen. You're 60 now, so, you know, you're going to be losing your memory or your eyesight, that these things happen to these people at this age. No, it happens to other people, not you and I. You and I are holding a picture of a perfect body, perfect health, perfect assimilation, perfect blood pressure, perfect blood sugar, perfect mental functioning. All functions of our bodies are perfect. That's the vision we want. And never let anyone try to interject, well, you know, you're at this age, so these things are supposed to happen. No, your body is only 1 year old. Your body is constantly renewing itself. So constantly remind yourself every year at your birthday, I'm 1 year old. And you should just take a candle and put one there and blow out the candle, because you're 1 year old. Congratulations, happy birthday. Okay, let's go down to the next paragraph. The next paragraph is, does thinking age? There is an active maturity of thinking that can only be attained after 50, when most people are ready to give up and quit. There is also evidence that people who think in a creative and constructive manner live longer than others. So here's the key. We imitate God, we'll live a long life. We imitate God and be creative and constructive in our life. Remember, we talked about thinking constructively in earlier lessons. Thinking constructively is a God-given gift. Thinking creative is God working through you. And as long as you're engaged in constructive, creative work, your body will stay vital. And this is one of the reasons why you should never, ever retire. You may leave one trade, one occupation, one venture, and go into another. But you will never retire. You only retire when you're in a box and you've given up the ghost. You are always being drawn higher and higher from the mind of God to be more creative, create more things, imitate God, be constructive in your thinking, and add value to the world. You are here as sons and daughters of God, of the Creator, and He has work for you. Okay, I'm at the last paragraph, a youthful mind. The minute you cease being mentally alive, your body reflects the pattern of thought and begins to slow up and become sluggish in its action, and old age sets in. If you can train yourself to be active and productive in the way you think and maintain a concept of a healthy, vital body, the body itself will readily conform to the pattern you have established for it. A youthful, active mind is your insurance against what others experience as old age. So, first of all, it says here, the minute you cease being mentally active. I think I had mentioned, on an earlier lesson, about when you reach certain age, maybe 50, 60, 70, 80, you should engage in things that keep your mind active, whether it be puzzles, mathematics, whether it be business. As long as you're keeping your mind active, things like Alzheimer's can never take over and dementia can never take over. Keep yourself active. And once your mind is active, your mind is only the first part. Your mind will now trigger your body to be active, because the body must continue to do its work because the mind is doing its work. And here's the great thing in the last paragraph, last sentence. A youthful, active mind is your insurance against what others experience as old age. Pay your premium and keep your mind active. And once you pay that insurance premium, you will never experience old age. Okay, let's look at the mental stimulus. I am reading here from philosophy, Sarah Pelly, Christian philosophy. It is impossible to detach God from the world. God is the sustainer of body as well as its inner guide. And from religion, behold, I make all things new. And that's Revelation 21:5. And it's true, God does make all things new. And let's read the diet together. Within the mind of God and the action of the law of life, there is nothing that can age. All the material substance which constitutes my body is ever available to it, and the laws that govern my body's functioning never ceases their action. Life knows what to do and how to do all that is needed for the full expression of itself through me. I accept the action of life as what I am, continually and vitally renewing and sustaining itself. I no longer condemn myself by what I think to a present or approaching experience of old age. I now release all previous concepts of myself, which can inhibit the normal, natural action of vital living. Mentally, I keep myself alive, alert, and productive. The mind of God never exhausts itself, its actions, as my mind is ever fresh, keen, and wholesome, and my body is a reflection of the nature of my thinking. I release my body from adherence to any negative thoughts I may have had about it, and I leave it free to conform to the great law of life that continually renews it. And the capsule supplement, I now determine that my thoughts shall contain nothing that is contrary to the vital and ever new expression of life in me. I discard all ideas of old age and affirm that my body is healthy, normal, and active. I don't know if you have watched some of the previous 30-day mental diets. I said the same thing over and over. On a daily basis, I remind myself that I am healthy, I am strong, I am energetic, and my body is in perfect health. I constantly affirm that. And whatever affirmation that you use, affirm your youthfulness. You're only 1 year old, you learned today. And God is constantly renewing your mind with new thoughts, new creative and constructive thoughts. And by renewing your mind, you are renewing your body also. There is a scripture that says that about Christ consciousness. And it says that if any man be in Christ, he is a new creation. Old things have passed away. Behold, all things are become new. And what you are doing in this 30-day mental diet, you are raising your consciousness higher. And as you raise yourself, your consciousness higher, all things will become new, even your body. I want to thank you for tuning in today for the 30-day mental diet. We are pushing right ahead. We're almost to the last day. And if you like this information, we would love for you to share it. Share it with your friends, your relatives, co-workers, whoever. Share it on your social media. And don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Okay? And I would love to hear from you in the comment section later on. And I'll see you tomorrow on the 30-day mental diet.